Hello and welcome to our Transformer series season 2. Today we are in conversation with Dr. Madhukar Gupta. Hello Dr. Gupta.
Thanks, Sudhir. Thanks so much for having me here.
It's a real pleasure to have you with us today.
My pleasure too.
Dr. Gupta, you are an additional secretary with the Department of Public Enterprises in the Ministry of Heavy Industry and Public Enterprises. I wanted to understand what is your role vis-a-vis impacting or guiding some of the CSR funding within the PSUs?
There's a history of public sector undertakings contributing towards developmental projects in our country. It is as old as the public sector undertakings. And even before the enforcement of the CSR Companies Act 2013, they were committed to CSR or philanthropy or initiatives for the development of the country, especially in the interior regions of the country. If you see the rationale of having a public sector in the country is for the greater good of society. So when you say the greater good of society, obviously they stand committed to undertaking other initiatives for the development of the country. However, after 2013, as things have kind of panned out, we have thousands of private sector companies. The country as a whole today spends more than 15,000 crores according to the provisions of the Companies Act under Section 135, out of which more than 4,000 crores are spent by the public sector. The number of public sector companies in comparison to the number of private sector companies is very small. So roughly a little more than 130 public sector undertakings undertake more than 4,000 crores, whereas thousands of private sector companies are expected to spend about 11,000 crores every year. So they contribute nearly more than one third of the CSR spending.
You've been now in service for over 35 years now. So what has been your experience, and in your view, what are some of the development challenges that you think are more pressing that need to be focused more strongly in the coming years?
The world never changed so fast as it has changed in the last 100 years. The forces of democratization, liberalization, globalization have become so strong that you see democratic trends everywhere, not only in terms of countries, but they are affecting us even at a family level. The kind of democracy which exists in my family or your family today never existed when we were kids.
Right.
So, to that extent, decision making has become more decentralized. And as I always say, that we have two worlds on one planet. See the diversity. On one side, you have the US, and on the other side, you have regions like Asia, Africa, South America. So, and development is not a thing to be underestimated. We talk about Vikas, we talk about development all the time, and we use it so loosely. Development agenda of different political parties. But what do we understand by development? After having put in more than 30 years in government, can I say that I have a better sense of the word development? Why governments lose in elections? Possibly their understanding or their appreciation of the term development is different from that of the stakeholders.
So that's interesting you mentioned. I've read somewhere you also mentioned that सुविधा और सुख में फर्क होता है कि सुविधा मिल जाए लेकिन सुख. So are you alluding to that just now?
Normally, people think development is equal to construction, निर्माण. विकास का अर्थ है निर्माण. Now, often people equate development to urbanization. Is it true? गांव को गांव रहने दो, उसको शहर बनाने की आवश्यकता है क्या? The moment you bring somebody to an urban region, to maintain people in urban areas is extremely expensive. Cost of living is very high in urban areas. Why should we get people to urban areas? Manufacturing production is much more cheaper in villages than compared to urban areas. So these are, and as I said earlier, east is east and west is west. Development is not about big cars or big roads or skyscrapers. If you see, at the end of a day, every family wants to be happy. There has to be bread on the table. They should be able to spend time with each other. They should feel happy. जो आपने कहा कि सुविधाओं और सुख में फर्क है. So, the bottom line is people should feel happy. They should feel contented.
Do you see civil society and NGOs playing a role in trying to get a better fix of what is required on the ground, and as you said, make more contextual kind of problems and solution approach? Do you think the working together of government agencies and NGOs together could help address these issues better?
Why not? Why not? Not only NGOs and civil society, also other stakeholders like academic institutions, educational institutions, corporations. There are studies available. For example, there's a study about Mauritius where they created groups of people which were headed by people from outside government, and they set about finding solutions to problems and also creating new opportunities in Mauritius, and it succeeded. Everybody brings something to the table. After my first district in Rajasthan, I had the opportunity of working with a non-profit in Udaipur for about a couple of years, and I learned so much. Today, after independence, if we don't ask the stakeholder, if we don't ask the beneficiary what he or she wants and give him what we think he wants, I think we are barking at the wrong tree.
But tell me, in today's context, when there is a race to acquire more, GDP growth is a good target to achieve, and you're saying people are still using their education or their professional skills to maybe grow their incomes. That's on one side, and on the other side, we are also looking at saying how do we ensure our commitment to sustainable development goals. Is there a conflict between the two objectives, or what do you think is the way forward if we were to say we are looking at a happier society and yet growing?
If we take the case of India, we have multiplied 4 times post-independence. From 33 crores, we have gone up to 132 crores. So whatever infrastructure that we built, assuming we have built it the right way, can we sustain this kind of population? That is one. In addition, I want to have a house. Let's say, for example, the Western world. Why the bubble burst, the housing bubble burst? I have a house, I have a ranch, I have a mountain house, I have a beach house, I have a yacht. Why? How much do I use it? Maybe a few days in a year. Is it sustainable? There's no point in creating infrastructure which I don't use. I would rather go for a house which has less rooms and more trees or more forestation. So, and it's more sustainable. Why should we be consuming the resources of the world when we don't need to do that?
But Dr. Gupta, do you see more and more people appreciating the thoughts that you are sharing? Just because our understanding is we are only complicating our lives more, we are creating more trouble. So while we are trying to solve some problems, I think the problems that we are creating are bigger than the ones that we are solving.
I agree with what you say. Where is it that our happiness lies in? If I am not happy, the same food will taste differently. So, I was recently in Poland. There, the government, in all its wisdom, has declared Sunday to be not only a holiday, except restaurants, all establishments are closed down. They want their population, their citizens, to spend more time with their family. In our country, we have enough food, but still we have people who are hungry. So, when Malthus talked about food shortages, we have moved a long way. We have enough. But do people have enough? I think there is inherent strength in our society. People have never let us down. It is we who have let the people down. We meaning there were people who are in positions where they impact other people's lives. Basically, we have to provide people a better ecosystem, a better enabling environment. As Michael Porter, my professor at Harvard Business School, used to say, the enabling environment is more important. That encouraging environment leads to everything.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta. That was a very enriching thought, and it was a real pleasure. Thanks a lot.
I enjoyed the conversation too. Thanks for having me.